The book, Tiny Habits, The Small Changes That Change Everything, by B.J. Fogg, offers a practical approach to behavior change by focusing on the power of small, manageable habits. While we dive into interesting cycle of habit formation, we will also discuss how this book is different from other two books on the same topic, The Power of Habit and Atomic Habits. Here are 3 key lessons from the book, Tiny Habits. 1. Start small for lasting change. 2. Anchor new habits to existing routines. 3. Celebrate small wins. Before building a precious habit in your life, subscribe Poetics of Success for more life-changing content. Tiny Habits emphasizes that the key to successful habit formation is starting with tiny, easy-to-do actions. By making a habit so small that it doesn't feel intimidating, like doing just 2 push-ups or flossing 1 tooth, you create a foundation that can grow over time. This avoids the overwhelm that often comes with large goals and makes consistency easier. In Tiny Habits, B.J. Fogg highlights the idea of starting small for lasting change because it makes habit formation easier and less overwhelming. Instead of trying to make big changes all at once, you start with something very small, so small that it's almost impossible to fail. For example, if you want to start exercising, you might begin with just 2 push-ups or putting on your workout shoes, rather than trying to run a mile right away. The reason this works is that small actions are easy to do, and when you succeed at doing them, you feel good about yourself. This positive feeling encourages you to keep going and gradually build bigger habits over time. Starting small removes the pressure and makes it easier to be consistent, which is key to forming lasting habits. Fogg believes that taking tiny steps is the best way to build big, lasting changes in your life, because small actions are easy to repeat and build momentum over time. In the book, Fogg talks about the idea of anchoring new habits to existing routines as a simple way to remember and start new behaviors. The idea is that you attach or anchor the new habit to something you already do regularly. For example, if you want to start meditating, you might decide to meditate right after you brush your teeth, because brushing your teeth is something you already do every day. By linking the new habit to something that's already a part of your routine, it becomes easier to remember and fit into your day. The existing habit acts like a reminder or trigger for the new habit. This makes it more automatic and reduces the effort needed to create the new behavior. Fogg suggests that you can make new habits stick more easily by connecting them to things you're already doing. It's like using one habit to help you build another one. Tiny Habits stresses the importance of celebrating after completing your tiny habit, no matter how small. This creates positive reinforcement, making the brain associate the new habit with positive feelings, which helps solidify the behavior. Celebrations can be as simple as saying, "Good job" to yourself, or doing a small fist pump. These emphasize the importance of simplicity and positivity in creating sustainable behavior change. The author explains that celebrating small wins is important because it helps your brain feel good about the new habit, making it more likely to stick. After you complete a small habit, no matter how tiny, like doing 1 push-up or drinking a glass of water, Fogg suggests you immediately celebrate. This can be as simple as saying, "Good job" to yourself or doing a fist pump. The reason this works is that the celebration creates a positive emotion, and your brain starts to associate that good feeling with the new habit. Over time, this positive reinforcement makes you want to do the habit again and helps you build consistency. In simple terms, Fogg says that when you celebrate small wins, you're training your brain to enjoy the new habit. Feeling good after doing the habit makes it easier to keep doing it until it becomes a natural part of your routine. Both Tiny Habits by B.J. Fogg and The Power of Habit by Charles Duhigg talk about how habits are formed, but they do it in different ways. Tiny Habits teaches you to start with really small, easy actions, like doing just 2 push-ups or flossing 1 tooth. The goal is to make the habit so small that it's easy to do, which helps you feel successful and keep going. Main idea is to start small and build from there. The Power of Habit explains habits by focusing on how the brain works. He introduces the habit loop, which has 3 parts: a cue, something that triggers the habit; a routine, the action you do; and a reward, what you get from doing the action. Understanding this loop helps you change or build habits. Main idea is to change habits, understand the cue, routine and reward that drive them. Tiny Habits gives you simple, step-by-step instructions to create new habits right away. The writer believes celebrating small successes is very important to forming lasting habits. Anchor a new habit to something you already do, perform the new habit, and then celebrate right after to reinforce it. The Power of Habit focuses more on the science behind habits, explaining how habits work in your brain and how they affect individuals, businesses, and societies. He uses many examples and studies to show how habits shape our behavior. Learn how habits are formed with the habit loop and use that knowledge to change them. Tiny Habits is mainly about helping you personally change your habits, giving you quick and easy actions to make small changes in your life. While The Power of Habit also talks about personal habits, it goes further, discussing how habits shape companies, organizations, and even social movements. It's broader in scope. Fogg's book is very practical and easy to read, focusing on simple steps you can follow right away to form new habits. Duhigg's book is more research-based, filled with stories, case studies, and science. It's more about understanding habits rather than giving direct step-by-step instructions. Tiny Habits by B.J. Fogg and Atomic Habits by James Clear are both about how to build good habits and change behavior, but they go about it in different ways. Tiny Habits claims that the best way to start a habit is by doing something so small that it's easy, like flossing 1 tooth or doing just 2 push-ups. The idea is to make the habit simple so you can do it consistently. He also encourages you to celebrate right after to make the habit feel good. Atomic Habits emphasizes making small changes too, but he emphasizes how these small habits can build up over time and make a big difference. James Clear explains how improving by just 1% each day can lead to major improvements over time. He also talks about creating a system around your habits and aligning them with the person you want to become. Fogg's book is all about making habits easy and starting small. He has a system called the ABCs. Anchor your new habit to something you already do. Perform the behavior or the habit, and celebrate right after to reinforce the habit. Atomic Habits focuses on 4 steps to build or break habits. Cue, what triggers the habit; craving, your desire to do it; response, the action you take; and reward, the benefit you get. He also emphasizes changing your identity to match the habits you want to create. Fogg's book is very practical and supportive. It's meant to help you start small and feel good about making changes immediately. It focuses on individual habits and helping people change behavior in simple, easy ways. Clear's book is also practical but covers more ground. He talks about how to create new habits and break bad ones, as well as how habits can lead to bigger changes over time. It's about both building habits and breaking bad ones, focusing on how habits fit into a larger system for success. Tiny Habits states that habits should be easy to do. The writer focuses on making behaviors simpler so they don't rely on high motivation, which can fluctuate. In Atomic Habits, Clear believes that focusing on systems rather than goals is the key to long-term success. He emphasizes the importance of small improvements and changing your identity to align with the habits you want. Fogg is a behavioral scientist, and his book is based on years of research in psychology and behavior. His method is grounded in science about how people actually form habits. However, Atomic Habits isn't based on original research, but it pulls together insights from psychology, neuroscience, and business to explain how habits work. It mixes science with practical advice. Let's wrap up the contents of this video. Habits are actions we do regularly, often without thinking, because they've become part of our routine. We form habits through repetition. When we do something over and over, it becomes easier and more automatic. The book, Tiny Habits, The Small Changes That Change Everything, teaches us that small, easy steps can lead to big results. By starting with tiny actions, like flossing one tooth or doing just 2 push-ups, we can build new habits without feeling overwhelmed. While all 3 books emphasize the significance of habits in our personal development, in The Power of Habit, we learn that understanding the habit loop, cue, routine, and reward helps us change behaviors effectively. And Atomic Habits reminds us that tiny improvements made consistently over time can compound into remarkable changes. Together, these ideas show us how small habits can lead to lasting success. Thank you for watching today's video at Poetics of Success. Remember, success is built one small step at a time. Stay consistent, celebrate your wins, and watch as your tiny habits lead to big results. Wishing you all wealth, success, and consistency on your journey. Until next time.